Hello Maverick traders, this is Imri and welcome to today's currency recap. It is Thursday, August 31st. It is almost officially the end of summer, I believe. That summer flew by, as has this entire year, if I'm being honest. So in today's review of the trading day, we're going to be going over any meaningful news that came out today. There wasn't really much, I'm not going to bury the lead. We're going to be taking a look at the broader equity markets, commodity markets. We'll be looking at the major indices, some currency basket analysis, any upcoming major news reports, and then, of course, as always, we're going to take a look through the charts and see if we can't find any opportunities. In this currency recap, we will be using advanced technical analysis. We believe technical analysis is the fundamental skill for every profitable currency trader. Maverick Currencies is currently hiring serious technical traders for a trader position. Traders will trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits. If you're a technical trader with a technically based trading system, we want to meet you. Click the application link in the description below this video. Now let's break down today's market action. All right, so breaking down today's market action, first up, we're going to be taking a look at what happened today. So stocks have snapped a 4-day winning streak and all eyes are on tomorrow's employment reports. It's going to be make or break time, I think, for this rally that we've seen over the last few days. Now, in terms of the day's overall performance, crypto is the big loser. Oil was up quite a bit on the day. And yeah, stocks slightly down. Nothing too major, but slightly down on the day. As far as fiat currencies go, the yen had a good showing, the dollar mostly flat, the Swissy, the euro, and the British pound, so the European currencies all got clubbed a little bit, and then the commodity currencies, funny enough, held their own too. And then on the crypto side of things, pretty much everything goes down today, with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash being the two biggest losers. As far as the market goes, things have changed pretty quickly. We went from being -2 to +2 very quickly. We're back above both moving averages, but we have not had a really strong moving average crossover quite yet. Right, so we can take a look here in the S&P. We're above both moving averages. I think tomorrow is going to determine whether we pull back into those moving averages or if we just go shooting straight up on our way to test the prior highs at 46.07. As far as news goes, yes, we're going to have some GDP numbers coming out of Canada in the morning, but all eyes are really going to be on the payroll report out of the US. That's going to be at 8:30 a.m. Moving on now to currency analysis on the velocity score side of things, we've got the yen and the CAD at a +2, the European currencies and the dollar at -3 and -2, and then the other two commodity currencies, the Aussie dollar and the Kiwi dollar, are 0 and +1. Now let's take a look at some possible trades because there is some interesting stuff going on in the currency markets right now. So first up, we've got the Japanese yen. We can see here there is some bullish divergence coming into the RSI here. That's encouraging for yen bulls. And then we can draw a pair of trend lines here as well. And you can see that we've got this like nice wedge-shaped formation. If we break out the top side of this wedge, then I do see some bullishness in store for the yen. So long as the key level here for any yen strength is the low from July 5th, right? So long as that low stays intact, yen bulls have a fighting chance here. And if we break out of that wedge, I think we have a very strong chance of first testing the highs from August 23rd. And if we can exceed those highs, then we're then moving on to the highs from the beginning of August. Next up is the dollar basket. Just going to tighten this trend line. You can see we're close to coming into trend line support. This looks like the dollar is kind of breaking down, to be honest with you. Just going to zoom in a little bit to this intraday chart. From an LE wave perspective, I can count a pretty solid 5 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this looks so far like a 3-wave bounce. So there could be some more pain in store for the dollar for sure. We'll see if tomorrow's NFP report proves a good catalyst for that or not. Okay, the Swissy. So We've definitely got a pullback in the Swissy here. Now, just to put that pullback into context, you can see how we're still steadily making a series of higher highs and higher lows going back a decade plus. So, you know, is this a tradable top in the Swissy? It's very possible, yes. Let's see if we can't get some good trend lines going here. So that one's our intermediate trend line. I think there's a neat little channel we can draw here, and you can see we're through that channel. And now zooming into some more intraday time frames, you can see I think it's likely that we've broken out the bottom of this channel today. Yes, we have. So that tells me that this is a tradable top in the Kiwi, and I think we can sell any bounces up until we run into the 50-period moving average, which coincides with the bottoms from the beginning of August. So there could be some Swiss franc weakness in the days to come for sure. I would imagine the euro looks similarly weak. Yes, look at that. So we double topped up here with significant bearish divergence, and also I think, yeah, that looks like the trend line. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to test this trend line. If we crack it, then look out, we're going to see some significant euro volatility. All right, the British pound. You all know that I've been pretty bearish on the pound despite this hot streak it's been on. Now, that doesn't mean you can't buy the pound at all. It just means that I think the risk is getting skewed the other way. And I've been saying that for weeks, and you know, I don't see any reason to change my tune yet. Now, what I would love to see happen with the pound is for us to get below this red resistance zone. If we do that, I think it's game over. Look to short the pound. The reason I'm so not just bearish on the pound, but want to be bearish on the pound is because that risk-reward equation is so favorable to the downside. We'll have excellent trading conditions if we can break down. So this trend line also supporting prices. I'd love to see this trend line give way, fall back here so that we can short any rallies. There's just so much room to the downside in the pound. From a trading perspective, no question, a weak pound would be better. All right, Canadian dollar. Just trading sideways. I think that trend continues tomorrow. The question is, which way are we going to break out of this rectangular formation? Now, I mean, you can throw up a couple trend lines, but the trend lines don't tell us too much right now. This is going down to an intraday. This looks like a triangle to me. Yep, this looks like a textbook triangle. I would actually favor, now that I'm looking at this on the 4-hour chart, that the Canadian dollar is going to break out to the upside, not the downside. I could be wrong about that, but if my Elliott wave labeling is correct and the triangles have 5 points A, B, C, D, and E, then I would be looking at something like this. And my trigger to trade a triangle, I get the green light once prices break above that wave D level. All right, now triangles can also be bearish as well. So the bearish level that put this triangle into play would be the low from August 30th. So just from yesterday. So if we take out yesterday's low, then the loonie is going to come crashing off. If we take out the high from August 14th, from August 14th, then we're probably going to test the highs from the end of June of this year. Next up is the Aussie dollar. This looks like a very corrective movement here. Would not be surprised to see us break out the bottom of this channel. And it's a very similar story with the New Zealand dollar here too. This again looks like a pretty corrective price channel to me. I mean, we might jump up to test the upper boundary before crashing off, but this formation does not make me want to be long the New Zealand dollar at all. So hopefully that gave you some trade ideas to think of there. I'm personally really excited to see whether the European currencies can continue to break down and whether the yen can really start coming into its own here. That would be one heck of a trade. So in conclusion, just continue playing relative strength and weakness, continue to follow your trading plan, and of course, always appropriately size your positions. All right, traders, that's it for me today. Don't forget to check us out for tomorrow's NFP class, and otherwise, I will see you next week. Take care, traders. Bye for now.